Hello. I am Shannon. I think Matt already said that. I actually have the best job in the world because I get to be what I like to call like an adult middle schooler, or when someone walks up there and they're like, "Who's in charge?" and they see me, they're like, never expecting it. Like, I'm the one in charge of the chaos. If you need something, come talk to me. But pretty much what I get to do is I get to be a mentor. I get to love on and walk through life with middle school kids. And I have I call her my protege. She's with me here today. If I have it my way, she's going to be the next youth pastor when she graduates in a couple of years. But yeah, what we do is we have club with kids. We really emphasize small groups. We have a small group called what?
Cats and Coffee.
Cats and Coffee, yes. And we just do life with them. And Devea she'll tell you about her story in a minute here, but she is kind of a full circle story, and she's pretty special in that. But she's helping me now. So she's like my number two in command, and I'm trying to teach her how to love on middle schoolers even though they're frustrating. So, yeah, that's what we do. What you might not know about middle schoolers is you might think, okay, Shannon, this is South Lincoln. It's pretty affluent. Are they really that struggling? Like, come on, what neighborhood are you in? So, yes, that is a myth that people think, middle schoolers in this part of town at Lux and Moore, probably the two nicest middle schools in Lincoln, that they already know Jesus, that they're in a church youth group, they are good to go, check the box, move on to somebody else. But that is a huge lie. In fact, I sat down right here in this very spot last year with a girl who on the outside, you would say, man, she's got it all. Look at that sweater. She looks so cozy and warm. I know the house she lives in down the street, check the box. She's all good. And she sat bawling, tears running down her face, telling me about the brokenness in her family, telling me about the brokenness in her life. And, I cried with her, and I told her about Jesus and how he's the giver of peace. He's the healer. He's the one who takes all that pain. And I think we all understand that right now, more than ever, the epidemic is actually mental health. Like, we have a pandemic, but the epidemic is mental health and just the feelings that people are having. It's at an all-time low. Suicide rates are at an all-time high. And so now more than ever, kids need to be kids. They need to be around other kids. They need to be running outside, chasing each other. They need to be roasting s'mores. They need to be doing what kids do. And they desperately need each other, and they desperately need someone to be a role model for them and step up and be that voice that says, hey, I know your life's really crazy. I know your emotions go like this all day long. And you know what? It's okay. And I'm going to help you get through it. And so that's what I get to do. And like I said, it's the coolest job in the world. We had a fall festival last week. There was 52 middle schoolers out here running amok. We watched Hocus Pocus. And it was a blast. It was so great. So that is kind of what I do. I'm going to let Devea tell a little bit about her story and how it's come full circle and what she does now.
Okay, so as she said, I'm Devea. I'm a freshman at East this year, and I think I started going to church when I was super young because basically I was in like a CPS sort of situation. My parents were in the picture for part of it, and it was a messy situation. So at the time, I didn't have a relationship with my dad. My mom was a single mother with essentially 3 kids. And so I had a mentor at the time, and she took me to the Wednesday youth service at Christ Place. And Matt was saying earlier, he couldn't calculate the number of kids sitting in a pew as opposed to people that actually had a relationship with Christ. And I mean, that was definitely me. I'm going to be honest, they had snacks there, and that was kind of my main motivation for showing up. Because I just sat in the back and I played on my phone and stuff. And I had father issues. I was super broken. But as Shannon was saying, I went to church every Wednesday. It was a ritual. I did it every Wednesday. And, I did grades I still have all A's and stuff. High school's kind of hard though, so might change. But, you check the box and move on. But, I was really broken. I still had a bunch of family issues. my sister who still wanted to be with my dad and stuff like that. But yeah, so I originally met Shannon through our Cats and Coffee group. I'm wearing the merch right there in that picture.
Yes.
I should have brought it, but so that was super cool. Basically, we met at church. It was the Wednesday group. And yeah, so I went to the Cats and Coffee group Tuesdays. We would go to the cat house and we would pet cats, and then we go to Starbucks, and we'd have like a Bible study. And it was super cool, and that became my thing. It was really helpful because as opposed to the big church group where everybody sat, did church, this was a small group, and it really helped me because I could talk to her about stuff, we could have discussions. So that was pretty cool. And then after that, I got involved in more stuff. I started going to the events. I started going to campus life at my school, which I'd originally stopped going to because the kids there were not very nice. I got bullied at one of the fun events, and I never came back. But yeah, so as I said before, I'm a freshman, so I don't really fit into the middle school thing anymore. But the group that I originally started in 6th grade, Cats and Coffee, I am now a leader at. So that's cool. Yeah, it happens right here actually. My room meets in there because the game room is the coolest room. I help at the campus life event on Tuesdays. I still go to the youth thing on Wednesdays, but yeah, I think it's really cool. This Youth for Christ has definitely done a lot for me, especially I was super shy a lot in 6th grade and 7th grade. I didn't talk to anybody. When I originally met Shannon, when she tried to approach me at church, I didn't talk to her words. She was like, "Hey, how's your night going?" I was like, "Yeah." There wasn't a lot of conversation, but so not only has it helped me in a spiritual way where it's I now have a relationship with God and I know what I can turn to, but it's helped me in a lot of other ways. 2 years ago, I wouldn't be able to come up here and speak to you guys like this, and I wouldn't be able to come out and reach to kids because, again, as I said, I got bullied, so I was mean to everybody. That was my thing. I would stomp on your feet. Combat boots still work. These aren't the same combat boots. I don't step on people anymore. They just look cool. But so yeah, it's definitely helped me emotionally and socially, and it's definitely strengthened my relationship with God. It actually kind of started it. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. When I say I've watched her, she was so closed off. I was extra blah, 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 craziness, and she was no. But I watched her over the past 2-ish years just blossom in this beautiful rose that just is completely amazing, and God's just working in her life, and I see that, and He's letting her be used, to help other kids, and it's amazing. And she's even reaching her own friend group, and I'm gonna brag on her because she probably would brag on herself like that, but it was the biggest treasure in my life. I don't even consider her a student anymore. She's one of my friends. I would hang out with her even if it wasn't my job, and we do hang out. So it just becomes family, and that's what campus life is. We're a family with our kids. We walk through life with them. And we will. Well, it's not going to end if I leave or if she moves. It doesn't matter. We're in it for life. So that's the relationship that we have with students, and it's really, really cool. So what we need, really, what we're striving for is, we need help. I can only be this close to maybe maximum 10 kids. But we need other people to get in those relationships. So I don't know if you're here tonight and you're hey, I don't know if I can be used by God. But she definitely didn't think she could be used by God, and God's totally using her. So if that interests you at all, come talk to me. I'd love to train you or teach you my ways or help you, have that relationship with a kid. Sometimes it only takes one to make a huge difference and a huge impact. And so that's one of our highest needs is just people to do what we do and to walk with kids and sit with them and listen to them and be that person in their life. So that's campus life.
Thank you.